Also, yay! Good job, me. I talked a lot. Without unmuting my microphone. Super! Come on. Once again, hello again, I am Takashi, and I am here to read you a ton of justice. And then we're gonna do the whole speed about Trigon and... I'm sorry about that. I will probably put a comment down below after I end this that... Yeah, you should probably skip to the minute mark number 5 right here. But yeah, Trigon has took over the money of her daughter. And I just get over my failure that I forgot to unmute my microphone. But yeah, Raven is in trouble. Maybe Rumi and Jennifer can do something about that. Maybe Garfield can do about that as well. But yeah, Trigon being unleashed is not a good thing. But let's see what's gonna happen. Chapter 16, Trigon, Part 1. Sebastian Blood, the 7th, sat at his private office, holding a glass of Chardonnay in his hand. His office was quiet, though the sound being that of the fire swirling in the glass alongside his evil breathing. He himself was a picture of calm satisfaction, while the outside world standing in the chaos. It had been the work of an entire lifetime. Multiple lifetimes, in fact. His entire parental line had been utterly devoted to achieving this aim, of allowing the god to enter the earth's plane of existence. Yet, all of those who came before failed due to their utter incompetence. They stayed in the shadows, always away from the public eye, and they did their dark work, held back by centuries of tradition. His old father continued to leading them down this path. So, what the man did was his own father did. He killed his father in cold blood, took the church for himself, and then set them down the path of their current success. So blood is literally miscible. We have the miscible tradition of throwing your own son child down to the mountain. And your own family. If you survive, you can be successful. And that's about it. More screams echoed from the outside, followed by gunshots and explosions. Unfortunately from the police, hastily trying to fend off his followers, whom he attacked shipped in from around the world. All were armed with the greatest weapons from the last corp arsenal, and his cathedral had been turned into an impenetrable fortress. There was no comfortable way for the Gypsies to reach their walls. The Titans possibly could, but blood imbalance infection, not two blood imbalance infection, they were presently occupied. Besides of his blood influence spreading from the tower, despite the hasty crossing the passage, more joy to his heart. Soon they would fall, and the world would follow. He had a gentle look on the floor, and began his visitors enter. For the blood, the acolyte said, everything is going to plan. However, it appears that the Justice League is mobilizing. The Watchtower is repositioning itself over us as we speak. For the blood, took a sip of wine. Are they doing anything else? No, we believe they're giving the Titans more time to take control of the situation. But if they take the field, our Lord's work will be done well before them. But in addition, as he rose to his feet, we saw over to a large portion of himself, gazing upon it. We? I think that was supposed to be he. He admitted that it was a personal vanity, but it was one he appreciated. The craftsmanship was exquisite, and the artist was compensated for their work. Its image allowed him to focus on the acolyte world. The Justice League mobilization was evidently concerning. Although he wasn't dealt with the Titans, the League was potentially far clearer than the plan. Should they decide to attack, he announced his own victory. Still, as continued, most of them placed their hopes on the League continuing to show self-restraint. Prepare to countermeasures and jamming devices. That will only buy us 3 minutes at most. Maybe that's what they will need. Then we will use those minutes. Go. Blood ordered. Excellent bowed and walked out of the room to fulfill the leader's command. They all stepped to Colonel and take of his wine, crossing one of his arms behind his back. How do you do that? You have one arm, you can't cross it. That's not a crossing if you are only doing this behind your back. Just putting behind your arm. He then heard a faint commotion coming from the basement, and so he calmly opened the secret passage in his office, then walked down the stairs. Going past the wall where Arthur's light was previously held prisoner, he felt out the door to reveal a large hollowed-out chamber, the tone of heavy cages held within. He could hear the creatures roaring and rumbling from inside the confines, struggling to free themselves, while unable to escape. Around the cages was a red aura, indicative of his master's work, combining the natural connection to our negative emotions with Trigon's dark magic was ingenious, in Blood's opinion. But more than that, he felt the creatures themselves were out of perfection. They were the living embodiment of everything his church stood for. After all, mankind was sinful, and his creatures actively sold them out to destroy them. They had no need for food, no drink, no rest, and were actively drawn to negative emotions. Magnificent, whispered the door, as he caught a glimpse of one of their eyes. It never mentioned enough that they engaged in a communication relationship with his father. Oh, we have some little problems with the words here. Complicated relationship, right? Bruce Wayne was my thing. He was someone hard to get along with, who annoyed about almost everything, and so set in his ways sometimes, he was like talking to a brick wall. Yet, at the same time, the man had raised him when he lost everything. Bruce sneaked into his home and said nothing of him, all because he knew exactly what the other had just gone through. To lose everything he had there. This little Bruce Wayne considered him to be his father in all but blood. But it didn't mean he wanted things the same way Bruce did. For certain, there was the fact that Dick knew Bruce was paranoid enough to get a contingency plan, just in case his fellow superheroes went wrong. After all, didn't the exact same thing for all the villains, making them for other heroes was a logical next step. Let's fast forward to the former Boy Wonder, make them and keep them secret from everyone else, like it was a violation of their secret thought. Which is why, when the case of getting his own upon founding the Teen Titans all those years ago, he moved everyone into the loop. They knew just how dangerous they could be if someone would take control of them, especially a human. And so they had to create a method on how to solve themselves should the need arise. Cyborg created a software virus that was so far beyond his ability to contract, although he refused to even try, it could shut him down in the moment knowledge. Perfect for if someone or something could to control of his mechanical body against his will. Starfire had to design a drug cocktail that would make her accidentally sense, preventing her from using her powers, as well as getting a compound based of chromium that showed all her powers directly. I did not know that Starfire had her own kryptonite. I knew about Sender, but I didn't know about chromium. Beast Boy, using his modern research, have decided to invent a tranquilizer that could only work on him and him alone, but we don't have no other titans to create a compound that would disrupt her identity emotional DNA. Making her susceptible to solar nation. All of them hoped that they would never have to be used, but each understood the necessity. So, when Lightning activated Raven's personal design countermeasure, it was his heart. From deep within Titan's Island, almost done by the sudden change of the May, from course zero to Horus Magma. A chain of ethereal beams shot high into the air. Once they reached their planet, more beams exited outward, crossing each of them before finally settling the geometric pattern, reminiscent of a pentagram. Then, once it was fully set, the parachute exited down and crossed into the magma, shutting out any magical interference from both the outside and the inside. The Trigon possessed Raven looked at the shield with mild amusement, watching how the magma outside of it quickly became silver there, and laughed. I see my notes to prepare for this. Impressive! The might commit hero by implant or in the ground, outside of its barrier. His voice mellowed out of Raven's mouth. With her back still turned to them, then went to the chest and to a model. Towards her. Do you mean a model? step around her chest, hitting her arms to the side, but she doesn't seem to be apprehensive. In fact, as she turned around to gaze upon them with her four glowing green eyes, we had smirk on her face. Let her go! Nightwing demanded. I said in fury, breaking through. Behind him, we see the other Titans, and as well as Vice, Blake, and Team Juniper, even their weapons straight at her. Even without empathic abilities, the sheer rage they were all emitting was palpable. No, why would I do that? I would ask, as he burned away the motor's wires, praying heaven's arms. After all, this is what she's made for. No, she's not! Sapphire started shouting before firing a massive beam of UV energy straight at her. The mother beamed and pulled with energy, and then you found himself consumed in the now beam. Cyborg Queen joined in, firing his solid cloud at full blast, but angry tears streamed down his face. Vice skinned a cliff with his hammer spin, trying to pin her in place, while the others fired the weapons. John, the only one without a gun, kept his shield extended out in front. Just in case, the brother spanned attempting a retaliation. Even still, he was holding the upper platform when the non-Kurdish purple slice touched his shield, sending him flying back and catching against the wall. Soon after, a bolt of magic shot out, hitting Vice's grip, making apart the concentrated sound waves, and destroying Starfire's attack. All but one, Starfire shouted indignantly as she flew towards her brother's friend. Hitting her to the ground, Vice began to pummel her. Get out of her! He yelled at the top of her lungs. Each one partially by a beast. But Trigon only smiled, hitting Starfire's face with her hammer's hand. Then, they raised her legs, back, and kicked. Starfire flattened the air escape from her lungs, as she was flung back into the ceiling. Rather than simply getting up, Trigon turned Haven's body into shadow, and he formed behind the heroes. Die! He commanded, and shot orbs of magic into the heroes. The attack started sending them falling to the ground, and Nightwing almost over the edge. He was able to latch onto the horn, however, and as he dangled off the building as he looked down to see Ruby, Yang, and Mingan attempting to arouse Beast Boy. Taking his gaze, Nightwing hoisted himself up, leaving his body to land on his feet, and pulling out his starting button at the same time. You first! Then, with a shout, Nightwing and the other Titans charged. All the Titans. Oh God! What is happening? From a red action took sight of the little hardscape in the now he now found herself in, wondering just how everything went so wrong so fast. Help me! Please, just make him from me. No, just take him from me. Can't you? I don't know how to say it. Can you? Let me your side. We are paid to the Martian god of death and life. Respectively, and she technically attempted to heal her mother's body. He was performing CPR, after alternating between breathing into his mouth and compressing his chest. Okay, I believe we might need a little bit darker music for this. There we go. Then they could hear their friends messing around someone. Who exactly was unknown? Who exactly was unknown? Was a mere singing feeling he knew who it was. Make Marion being acting on the island, the sudden change in scenery, and the sudden burst of dark magic being elevated from the tower, brought her as such. Trigon and won. The stress, the fear, the self-doubt, all of it worked to wear away him onto Marion to the weakest level in years. With his boy getting mortally wounded by the sword that moved the camel's back. For the first time, his maniac really didn't know what to do. How could they, a group of teenagers and young adults, both defeat a demon on par with the god? He hoped that the Justice League were on their way. It would be impossible to miss what was happening right now. He's winning, but he's not waking up, he shouted, making Roman's concentration and causing her to run over to him. True to her sister's word, this boy was indeed bleeding, made so shallowly. The wound on his chest was seared, courtesy of my god injecting him with yet more of her blood, infinitely encouraging his body to heal faster. I mean, as I probably mentioned before, I don't know if it was on the same or just while we were talking with my friend. Now is the time for Sean to learn his tablets. Is there anything we can do? Come yes, on my show correct. He's slipping into a coma. I'm trying to raise inside his mind, trying to pull him out. Got it. Hang inside, as she jumped to her feet, and he loaded Emma's cycle, zooming up to the bottom overhead, seeing an obvious product Raven flying around the waist of the tower. As she and Sapphire engaged in a dogfight. From the east side of the tower was the rest of her friends, trying to shoot her down from relative safety. For me? Understanding Yang told him immediately nodded. Go, harm them. I protect my god and mean boy. Yang nodded back before grabbing herself up to the others. Soon disappearing from Rumi's side. Rumi then placed herself protectively in front of Beast Boy and my god just, and the motion placed her hand gently on his head. She closed her eyes and concentrated. And when she opened them, they had gone from a deep red to bright white that shone from within. My god, sorry! Coming back as she loaded Cassette out. Beast Boy was floating. The man that couldn't be anything out of ordinary. There were many times during each day where he would turn himself into a marine animal and just swim out in the open water. When he saw them floating in water, he said he found himself floating in an empty void. Huh! Well, this can be good, he said to himself. He tried to remember what happened to him. But everything was hazy. The most he remembered was Raven, facing pain, the necklace. He then pounded his head, trying to remember. But again, he found himself coming to a blank. Yay! The one time I need to remember something, I can. Perfect! I can imagine Raven from now. Garfield, seriously, stop thinking about your useless video games and focus on something important for once. Will you probably a female voice suggested? Yeah! That, thanks! He might close his eyes and the same voice told him what he was all thinking. Then he fully understood that the voice was not his own. And his eyes shut open. As he threw out his hand to look next to him. Or to his surprise, resting on his shoulder was a small green monkey that was looking deep into his eyes. What's up? Monkey asked. Meanwhile, you couldn't help but scream. Surprised, the monkey did as well, and couldn't do so after Meanwhile picked it up and held it across the void. The small animal twisted and turned and tried to ride its calf. But Me's boy and got his mother to face it. Okay, I'm concerned now that it is him. It is his own mirror body. Just like everyone has their own. Who are you? He asked, trying to turn himself into a flying animal, or to not feel anything. As he continued to try and transform, the monkey managed to hide itself, and he made more with a slightly annoyed look on his face. Okay, well, that's about the road. It's rude to throw monkeys to the air. Well, it's rude to surprise people by showing up out of nowhere on their shoulders. Minmo replied, as he continued to try and transform, while the monkey had shown a limited look on his face. In the Netherlands. Point taken! Second, no matter trying to use their powers in here, they won't work, and I know, you say you are constipated. Meanwhile, glanced at it and tried to transform one last time, defiantly. Two to the monkey's one, however, didn't. Tried to himself, Meanwhile, monkey said, great! Hey, don't feel bad about this, monkey said, and it's way over the young boy. Trust me, it happens to everybody. Everybody finds themselves floating in space, trying to get monkey. Well, that ain't a thing, Mod. The monkey shook his head and raised his small hand up. Look, we are getting off track here. There are fairly a lot more important things to worry about. It was landing down at the monkey. It was a sign and nodding his head in agreement. Yeah, like rather come on. Oh, that's easy. We are inside your head. Can't empty in here, ha! The monkey has heard, and it was the most obvious thing in the world. Meanwhile, looking at it incredulously, ignoring the insult. But one of his eyeballs hurt. Okay, what are we in my hand then? Meanwhile, you are in a coma. I'm in a what? In just a small one. The monkey clarified, as if that made it better. Think how Meanwhile was meaning pain. The monkey continued. Look, you took a big, and I mean big hit just now. Got almost through the heart by followed my attention, and that's my fault. You actually didn't die on impact. How come I didn't? Meanwhile asked. Yes, thank you, but the monkey really tried. Haven't you figured that out yet? Human is a living representation of the entire animal kingdom, plus an extra. That includes animals like lemmings, and they think your body is more resistant to those kind of falls. It still hurts, obviously, and you do have a few broken bones, but assuming you and your friends make it out of this, I think a few out of matters won't face. Let me tell you, your metabolism is insane! Meanwhile, looked at the monkey for a few more moments. Felt his fear and confusion slowly ebb away, until finally, he found himself calm. Okay. Meanwhile, muttered to himself, and looked at the monkey. You obviously know what's going on, can you? Certainly, monkey replied, internally. This boy was finding it odd how used he was to the stage and culture. What got his throat off, and the monkey continued. Yeah, your friend Raven. And just came into town, and let me tell you, he's a piece of work. Constantly extremely violent and not to mention very controlling. Are you telling me Raven has been taken over by Trigon? The boy felt his panic come back, and the monkey nodded his head. Bingo! How did that happen? I think the better question is, what didn't happen? Over the past month, her mental barriers have been constantly under attack from nearly all angles. There's doubt, anger, fear, everything the creature thinks, and the creature thinks. They were already weakened by the time Trigon placed his final hand, and you're getting shot by natural light. What finally King tapped down completely. He's basically walked right in afterwards. I Wilbur was lost and was at a loss for words. He was one of his best friends. Is he possessed by her evil father? It was two nightmare scenario. One that was hard to describe with words. When the main argument with the monkey, however, you angry, and I shout, "How do you know this? Who are you, by the way?" Me? I'm just a representative of the group that gave you power. Monkey answered. It's my music flashing gun before going back to grid. Here, I should probably stop me right about now. We just want you to die and all. What about the flashing gun, though? What are you talking about? What group? My own blood transfusion and security are giving me my powers. You see that's right, you're wrong. Monkey waved his paw around, a single finger outside. Sure, you expectation accounts for a part of it, but it's nowhere near the full truth. The power extends far beyond that of a normal motion transformation. Ever hear of the law of conservation of mass? Equivalent exchange, and he is not proving that here. Yes, I am aware that I go to the battle later. This momentarily implied. Good! Then we are on the same page. Listen, the point is your power extends far beyond what you could believe them to be. You have only just begun to tap into them, and until now, you have been limiting yourself. Limiting myself? The boy now generally intrigued. The monkey smiled at his question. The boy did his finger at him. Yes, finally, that's my question. You, girlfriend, are limiting yourself. What's the smallest you have turned into yet? The Sophia Gangster, right? Correct? The fruit pie, yes. Try going smaller. And I'm not talking about other insects. I'm talking microbes. Nothing great, for instance. You can illustrate your mind and turn it into smaller flesh. If it's part of the animal kingdom, you can turn into it. And then just limiting yourself to Earth. If you wanted to, you could turn yourself into an animal from New Friend's home planet. Let me tell you, there were some interesting animals living around London, but you always was home for the insect creatures. World crabs, for instance. Same goes for Samaran, or any other alien planet with life on it. I mean, yeah, I literally questioned why he didn't turn into him. Whoa! Yeah, whoa! Yes, if you wanted to, you could turn yourself into another human being. They would begin, and with your voice, and without their powers, but you'd... Really? The boy asked, and the monkey nodded. Oh, I have plans now, thank you! No problem? Wait. We have an obstacle gun. Point is... Oh, it's the other monkey. No problem. Anyway. We have an obstacle gun. Point is... Things are going to have them now. And right now, you and the little civilized girl are pretty much the only people capable of stopping this before it gets even worse. What? The boy asked, taking his head. How could he and Ruby stop Trigon? They were the youngest out of everyone. They would stand no chance against stopping Trigon of their own. You said don't get it, do you? Monkey suddenly asked. Don't get what? The boy asked again. And the monkey merely chuckled, as he said, "Ah, teenagers! They are always the most interesting stage of the life to look at." Now I'm confused again. You will find out soon enough. The monkey replied skeptically. He would narrowed his eyes before a bright light shone from above. Girlfriend! Girl, it's me! a voice shouted from the line. Also, look, there you go. Again, the gas as he gazed up into the light. It was warm, and he found that it somehow did not hurt his eyes at all. The monkey smiled warmly at the sight, and began to fade away. Looks like my time is up. Remember, you and Toby are the only ones who can solve this. How? How can we solve it? Midway asked as he began to float up toward the light. I will give you a hint. You will die today. Before Miss Boy could inquire any further, the light broke, and he suddenly pulled himself back into the real world. He wildly coughed, feeling the sudden heat of the warm air making his old skin, and his breathing became hurried. Garfield! He shouted as he suddenly embraced her mother. Miss Boy continued to cough, each one making the log feel as though they were on fire. And when he could finally bring himself to look around, he found himself in literal hell. Dinosaur Tower was proud, living, and majestic, was now lying in the ruins. His glass was thrown over the island, but was full beams, yet standing out of rubble. It was presently settled at this point, it was obvious to everyone that soon it would fall entirely. Around them, he would see his friends and comrades, desperately fighting against the red skin and poor and Raven, who herself was cackling demonically as she flung the tendons around like rainbows. But what happened? Miss Boy gasped out as he took everything in. Trigon happened, Toby answered. Continuing to tend guard over her friend, Trigon moved to pick her mother up, but Miss Boy stopped her with her right hand and slowly rose to his feet. He swayed, but Trigon was there immediately to land her shoulder. Thanks, sis, Miss Boy said, feeling good and keeping him upright despite the pain, and Trigon smiled. They looked back at the fighting before them, seeing how the possessed Raven was grabbing Yang and squeezing her cruelly. They was screaming in agony, but managed to get her arm free and fire a slug into Raven's face, causing her to flee, and hitting the blood on her. Yes, Trigon might be taking over Raven's body, but it's still Raven's body, and she does feel pain. Please getting there, Dominic said, as she prepared to charge into water, only for Miss Boy to get her. No, it won't work. Trigon stood and touch. Miss Boy proclaimed, and Toby spun around angrily. Just as why stand in the grave for shattered beneath? I can just sit here and do nothing, Toby shouted, but Miss Boy held up her head weakly. He found that it was getting easier now, so he had that going for him at least. I am not suggesting that, he replied. I think I have a way to free Raven. A statement, Ruby and Megan both looking at him excitedly. Well? Megan asked, and Miss Boy found the strength to remove his weight off her. Inside the Raven's room, he began, there's a mirror. A small, silver mirror, one that she uses for meditation. What does the mirror have to do with saving Raven? Ruby asked. By using it, Isabel continued, she goes inside of her mind, and I know from experience that anyone can use it to go there too. Meaning, we can use it to go inside her mind. You're finished. Right. Thinking about her not at her same month. We are excited and continued. We can go inside her and have her money taken from her body. Exactly, Isabel proclaimed, and Ruby nodded excitedly. Excitingly? I think that should be excitedly. Well, come on, let's go! We began as she started to run towards the tower. But knowing that not only would Miss Boy be in danger, staying out here in this current state, but he would be interested if he wasn't brought along. Picked him up, bright the sky, and flew after the Red Emperor. They traveled through the ruins of Silent Tower, avoiding the mangled bodies of the cruelties. To the best of their ability, Trigon had always killed them, and the part of Mayon was secret. At the same time, they largely facilitated this, so the part of her that it was just carving justice. They found the rich Haven's room, and as with the rest of the tower, it was in shambles. Her bed was completely shattered, holes blown into her walls, and part of her floor. A part of the floor, and sitting completely caved in on itself. One thing, however, that was still in perfect condition was Raven's nightstand, which caused Mean Boy to sigh happily. "Oh, thank God it's still here!" Mean Boy said, as he opened the drawer. He threw a few papers and books out of his cup suddenly, before finally pulling out a small mirror. It was just as he described, although Romy couldn't tell what note during that was carried. He really hoped that wouldn't be a problem with what they were about to do. He was prepared to come out on the other end of this thing in one piece, if at all possible. He would walk back and over to them, and hand it out in front of the trio. You guys ready?" "Yes." "Yes," an immediate answer, in terminally. "Let's go save our friends!" Robin proclaimed. But later, Darkseid lifted out of the mirror, pulling all three aside. The mirror fell to the ground, the shelf flying, and then the mirror broke. Let's come in just in case. Okay, so we have one shorter paragraph than we have a longer one. So we can do the short one. I mean, it's not a short, but shorter. He had noticed the sign, and Raven, if she couldn't even call her friends believe that, attended her with a sign for money. Just as her feet left the ground, the sign handed a chunk of concrete into a tiny fragment, and mounted of her. It came back suddenly, her diminished aura nipping further down, before the golden dragon landed with a roar. She jumped over again, as soon as she could, losing yet another blast from Raven, and turned around to fire two rockets from the Emma Seneca in the bullet hub demon. I was consumed in a ball of fire, but she quickly blew away with magical powers. "Did you really think that would work?" I mockingly asked, as he had about 3 of magic in Raven's hand. It flew wildly. Purple sparks arcing through the air, and leaving short marks on the rubber. I didn't respond. It is firing a few shotgun around. He saved in a circle. Behind her, he saw Blake and Weiss run towards Haven. I'm sorry, Haven," Blake yelled as she fired Gumbo shot towards her. "We will get you something nice after this," Weiss declared, forming a leaf behind her. It glowed blue from the infusion of princess. And Weiss then moved to leaf in front of her. Sort of eyes grew on this surface before Weiss reported by Mr. Lister to the side. As though it were the pulling of a trigger, a hill of eyes turned towards Raven. The bullet harmed demon, rather than attempt to flee or dodge, really smart and coherent. The work was child. I mean, it's literally. I understand as he is negotiating a wall in front of his child. The ice had been broken apart. We were Trigon sitting together on the remains. He engulfed the fragments with his money before igniting them straight to the fight. The iron remains indicated the right name to attack the battle time. But a few managed to make it through and got into her. She got it from the pain, being knocked by a course through her body. But she remained firm, as her blade jumped down from above. The force at home to catch Trigon off guard. But before she could even make it to her unfortunate enemy, Raven's hand snapped back, hardened and easily engaged, bringing blade to her core. And the rest of Raven's body faced an equally horrified match. With an evil smile attached to Raven's face, Trigon lifted Raven's hand up suddenly. They soon find herself surrounded by a purple flame. And at first, nothing happened. Then, there was agony. As through her very soul itself was set aflame. In the back of her mind, she recognized it as hellfire. But as she waited on the ground, she didn't find it within herself to really care. All she wanted was for it to stop. Ah! Yelled at the top of her lungs. As she lunged towards Raven, but Trigon merely smiled as she raised the other hand towards her, levitating a column of concrete that plowed into her side. They was carried away, slamming into the side of Trigon's tower. And in the remains of it. But before she could even attempt to get up, more concrete slammed into her. She was quickly burned out the rubble, and Raven's body was forced to laugh. Hey, Fräulein! They shouted. Trigon turned to face the hammer maiden, until he received a tear grenade to the face. He never made a fire, forcing it into a ball and in Raven's hand, then editing the flame towards her. Though he ran to the side, putting the fire grenade after grenade as she ran away. And meanwhile, crouched behind the jungle of concrete behind Raven, closed his eyes, and then placed his hand to the ground. Please, mother, fuck. If you don't know the mother of my mother's means the god. And told as she extended his thunder towards her. He Raven suddenly ran still and his power took fall. And had immediately found the emotions swelling within her body. The rage, the mania, the ecstasy of being on the couch of victory after so long. Trigon's emotions clearly. Behind them all, they could also feel Raven. And to his horror, he found her to be unconscious of her mother's actions. The fear, the shame, and the anguish over seeing her friend getting torn apart by her father. Well wanted to throw up, but he persisted under the smallest hope that if he could just calm her down, he would be able to reassign herself. Get out! Yelled Trigon's moving voice and crazy mind, severing the connection as he had formed between them. Stepping God's hand back to the people with flash. Returning Trigon to his cover, he opened his eyes to see the two pairs of Trigon's burning God's eyes boring into his own. He couldn't even raise him so far to defend himself before he was picked up and tossed to several slabs of cocaine. He felt his bones rattle with each impact, and he struggled to maintain consciousness. But he finally stopped and tried to prop himself up, only to feel Trigon's left medical fist upon his chest repeatedly. How dare you! Trigon roared, and his vision began to blur and beckon. He could hear a faint yell as something pink slammed into Raven's body, and it was forced to send the surprised demon flying off. And then saw an enraged Nora. sending potentially over him. Mankind shifted into his hammer form. You stay away from my man! Again, a silent roared. When he exploded from Raven's body, Rubber flew outward, summoning Nora's face, but she paid them no heed, as she ran straight towards her opponent's fan. Raven flew towards her as well, firing a magical beam at the same time. Nora moved her hammer in front of herself, and plowed through, propelling the demon enough for Nora to whack Raven's body again to the side. The bullet half demon's body was carried with the hammer onto the ground, and Nora proceeded to slam Mankind upon the body repeatedly. Proceeded to do so until Trigon wrapped a tendril around Nora's waist. Insolent cure! Trigon roared, as he ripped and flailing Nora across the pavement repeatedly. Then he threw her body to the side, like a ragdoll. He then floated Raven's body upward, deflecting a few starballs from Starfire in the process. This made an air tackle her for the span, and together they flew to several walls of the remarkably still standing Tenant Tower. Starfire was hurling powerful energy-fused punches into Raven's face, until they fully cleared the building. But Starfire let go, and allowed Raven's body to be carried forward to inertia. He then followed up the right near beam, slamming him against the magical barrier, keeping the more of Trigon's influence out of the city. At the same time, Starfire couldn't help but note that even now, the influence was beginning to expand. Water was slowly turning into magma, and the last glow was spreading across the atmosphere. She couldn't allow herself to eliminate, however, as Raven's body pried himself from the magical shield. You think you can still win? And I certainly yes. Only now did Starfire saw the voice of Mitchell Raven in as Raven. He said cheers down the spine, but she merely frowned. So... she's afraid of Trigon's voice. Do you like Trigon? No? Don't worry, they will take care of it. It sent chills down her spine, but she made it proud, and held her arms up. Her eyes and the ends looked clean, and two silence flew at each other at top speed. They impacted with enough force to generate a small shock wave. Yet the two could use their area of brawl. Below them, on the ground, they just nice being turned into his falling plan alongside the equally injured cyborg. Cyborg, how are you doing? He asked, moving from the natural, while Cyborg shook his head and frowned. Not good, he admitted, smiling from an upper wound on his shoulder. The man sacrificed one of Raven's many spells. I cried through it and threw it into a paper. Now because that into miracle, it hadn't simply fallen off. My system operating at only 40% capacity. I'd been current under his breath, as the hunter ran to his feet. He saw White applying antimatter to go to me, starting to have fire from the forest's body. But Nora propped herself up on the hammer and made to rejoin her father's boyfriend. Yang, meanwhile, actually exploded from the mold to Hammer, as she had been burned under. Aha! Set alight with a golden flame. When I get my hands on him, Yang called. That we wasn't quite sure if the hunters were referring to Blood of Blood, Trigon, or perhaps just both, but she agreed to with her all the same. Being more for his best friend, his teammate trapped in a living hell, was to become a slave to her father's whims, made his blood boil. Deep down, he prayed that when they finally managed to get him back, he would turn into cruelty later. He doubted he would be able to stop himself. He doubted any of them would be able to. And yet, he was fighting himself to really care. He went through them. Right to me! She was on the edge. She was holding him up on the shoulder. She was with Miriam, looking up to Meat Boy, the youngest one. And only question going on at the same time. What? They are not there now. Samuel replied, as he finished patching up the hole in his shoulder. Also, he was worried about that, but at the same time he felt that he knew where they went. And when he looked at him from the corner of his eye, doing the same thing. Right now, he began, I must met in with no strength. Then, what am I going to do? He asked as Joe removed himself from my shoulder. That thing, in response to a question, pulled out Musa with the button. Hold the bastard off! We are gonna do what we are do that. And let me come here. We are literally at the 1 hour mark, even though the first 5 minutes was me mumbling without anything. There's a long paragraph, so we are stopping right here. Things are heating up. There's still a chance. There is still a chance of Rumi and I mean, yeah. I don't know how the monkey knows that Rumi has the Wi-Fi power, but he knows. I don't even know what the monkey is. Monkey see, monkey know. But yeah, since my voice is still not the best performance, but it's slowly getting better. Not the best, but maybe at one point it's gonna come back to at least 40%. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye. I hope the music wasn't too loud.